Have you ever thought about what it takes to build our muscle to fail well? I've been thinking about this a lot lately because so many of the leaders and people in general that we support have this fear of failure on some level, have this need for perfectionism. It is so wired in us as human beings. And some of us have done work where failure is not as scary as others, but it is very, very common. And it got me thinking about how we support our clients in moving through this fear of failure and looking for opportunities instead to fail well, or what Amy Edmondson refers to as intelligent failures. And when she talks about intelligent failures, they're different than just simply mistakes. Mistakes are where there is a known way of doing things and we simply don't do it that way. But when we have an intelligent failure, we are in new territory often. It's something that we haven't quite done before. And so we need to figure our way out. Sometimes there's an opportunity for us to learn, to grow, to have better human connection, whatever that might be. A lot of times we've at least done some kind of foresight thinking of, well, okay, what could happen here and what are my opportunities? And the biggest thing is start small. You know, you don't launch a big initiative in your company without doing a pilot first, right? You don't dive into the deep end of the pool without having a swimming lesson. We start in the shallow end. And so, one of the things I do with some of my coaching clients who have this fear around failure or have not built that muscle to fail well is to look at where have you actually messed up in your mind in the past, or where have you failed in the past. And it actually turned out to be a positive thing. The world didn't end, a relationship strengthened, you learned from it, you grew, a process got better, whatever it might be, and start to really reflect on that. And better yet, ask people. Ask people in your mind that you feel like you've messed up with or you've failed with, but you feel like the relationship is still okay. And more often than not, what you're going to find out is that what you are viewing as a failure, they are viewing as no big deal, part of being human, part of the process, a learning opportunity. And so these activities help us start to reframe failure from an unrecoverable thing, a bad thing, to a tool to help us learn and grow, to fail intelligently and to learn from it. So, my invitation and my challenge to you this week is to look for those opportunities to fail well. Or if you know you have that stuck narrative around failure and perfectionism, do one of these exercises. Reflect on where you've failed in the past and it turned out to be a positive. Ask people who you think you have failed with what their view is. And I bet a lot would open up for you, and I would love to hear what does. And remember, failure or not, never ever let anyone dull your sparkle.